Assalamu alaikum everyone. Pleased to have you again in another video from Anglaises. This video concerns mostly those of you who have reached their 6th and last semester, and specifically students of literature, and any other person who is interested in the topic. As you all know, there are two different majors in the third year of English studies, namely Linguistics and Literature, and this video concerns those of you who have opted for the latter. We will be briefly talking about what you are to expect in each and every module of this semester. Well, first and foremost, and as you might have noticed, most of the modules seem familiar or close enough to one of the modules you have had in the last semester, in 5th semester. And this is indeed true, seeing as a lot of these modules are somehow an extension of the first ones. So as you might notice here, 20th century fiction is close to 19th century novel, and then there is a second module of research project, modern drama, which was classical drama before. Same goes for poetry, which was classical, and now we will go through a bit of modern poetry. And then post-colonial studies too, which is also an extension of the first one. The only difference would be modern literary criticism, which in itself also has similarities with literary movements. Without much talking, we will start talking about the content and make it clear. First module, 20th century fiction. في هذا الموديول هذا you will have to read A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. And I did have to read in capital letters because it is of utmost importance that you read it. ما تقدروش غير تقراو articles or the texts about the story, you have to read the novel. If you do not read it, you have little chance to actually succeed in this module. You will have to analyze a novel written in the 20th century. Similar to 19th century novel, كانت تكون عندكم فكرة على 19th century novel. Now we are studying 20th century fiction, which means خصكم تقراو a little bit about the 20th. For the second module for that semester, research project 2, which is basically the practical part of research project 1. قريتو في semester 5 how to write a research project, the theory, الجزء النظري ديال كيفاش تكتبوا a research paper or كيفاش ديروا a research project. في هذا السمستر هذا you will have to do the practical part. يعني كانت نظرية دابا خصكم تطبقوا النظرية. You will be required to apply what you have studied during the research project module in semester 5. خصكم تطبقوا داكشي اللي قريتوه في semester 5 ديال research project. In the third module, which is modern drama, there is a slight change هاد السمستر. Usually كنا كنقراو Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett. This semester there is a change. So in this module you will be reading and analyzing Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman. You will be confronted with the American dream as one of the main themes in the play. وهاد الأمريكان dream هذا is a theme is highly present in different literary texts, مثلا The Great Gatsby, which is based mainly on the American dream. هاد الأمريكان dream هذا is, in simple terms, has to do with a promise of freedom and equality for all people. يعني كلشي has a chance of being successful. ولكن it is much more deeper than this, so it would be good إلا قريتو شوية على the American dream to understand the play and where it comes from. You will discuss Willie Loman, who, like Hamlet, is considered a tragic hero. قريتو tragedy in 5th semester. Hamlet was a tragic hero. دابا Willie Loman تا هو غادي يكون a tragic hero, but in a different type of plays. You will come to see the difference between classic and modern drama. يعني غادي يبان لكم الفرق ما بين هاد classic drama مثلا Shakespearean play and modern drama اللي هو is mostly in the beginning of the 20th century. Or during the 20th century. So you will see the difference ماشي غير in the type of hero, tragic hero, ولكن حتى in the play, how it develops, how it is told. Moving on to the next module, which is modern poetry. And في هذا الموديول هذا you will get a glimpse at poetry and how it developed from the beginning of the 20th century all through the post-World War I period. يعني هنايا تبدلات poetry. It was classic, it was old. البداية ديال 20th century, all through الوقت ديال الحرب العالمية, things changed. You will get a glimpse ولا غادي تشوفوا هاد الفرق هاد differences اللي وقعوا. You will read through a variety of poems including T.S. Eliot, Ezra Pound, Yeats, Williams and many more. يعني غتقراو واحد variety واحد number of different poets and poems. Also, you will study some essays about the theory surrounding modern poetry. يعني ما غتقراوش غير poetry، ما غتقراوش غير poems، غتقراو حتى some essays اللي كيهضروا على poetry and how it changed. Most of these essays are written by واحد من هاد poets اللي غتقراو. And you will study the foundations upon which modern verse stands. يعني هاد poetry ملي it changed حتى the structure of poetry changed. مثلا بان free verse، يعني غادي تقراو على ال foundations ديال مثلا free verse كيفاش بانت و what its characteristics are and how it is written and things like that. The fifth module in this semester will be modern literary criticism. For the module, you will study, discuss, and learn to apply different literary theories on a number of literary texts. Mostly, you will focus on psychoanalytical theory, Marxist theory, and feminist theory. You will come across the main ideas that the theory is built upon, and each of these theories focuses on a number of ideas, on something like we could call them rules, which will help you apply them later on texts. You will study those, and you will discover the main issues or weaknesses of each of the study theories. Each of these theories, اللي هو محتاج an approach to study or to criticize the text, each of these theories, and whom issues which can also be called limits or boundaries. يعني هذا theory can focus on a number of things ولكن في نفس الوقت عندها شي حوايج ما تقدرش تهضر عليهم. These are the limits near the theory. It doesn't allow it, or the theory doesn't allow the critic to talk about them while using this very approach. So هاد weaknesses ولا هاد issues ولا limits غادي تقراو عليهم. You will come to see the main pioneers of each studied theory. يعني كل وحدة من theories كاينين الناس اللي لقاوها ولا اللي هضروا عليها ولا اللي made it happen, اللي built the theory. هاد الناس هادو you will study them as well, get an idea about who they are. You will come to understand how you can apply the study theories. يعني من غير النظرية خصكم حتى تعرفوا ولا توليو تقراو كيفاش you will apply كيفاش غتطبقوا the theory about ولا on literary texts, different texts. You will have a look at the ideas, terminology and critical methods surrounding a number of literary theories. And in the end you will learn to apply the theories. Had learned to apply the theories الأخرى عندها علاقة the exam. In the exam you will basically be having a text, يعني it could be different versions of exams. واحدة version could be that you are given a literary text and you will have to choose one literary theory that you think you can apply, and then تكتب واحد essay in which you criticize that text, that literary text, through the theory. A different version of an exam could be that you are asked to talk about a theory. يعني غيقول لكم تهضروا على واحدة theory مثلا واحدة من هادو مثلا talk about feminist theory and show examples of literary texts that you can criticize or that you can talk about in a that you can criticize through her theory. Last but not least, آخر موديول في هذا السمستر هو post-colonial studies 2, which is basically an extension ديال post-colonial studies of 5th semester. You will be given once more some readings, some main readings. In this case, you will once more read some extracts from Edward Said's Orientalism, and you will be asked to read from Frantz Fanon's book Black Skins, White Masks. غادي تقول لكم قراو the chapter Facts of Blackness. Now these are the main readings. شنو كيعني main readings? This means بلي first of all إقدر تعطيكم some extra readings to do, and second, the more you read out of your own free will about post-colonial studies, the better your vocabulary is, the better your ideas get. So don't limit yourself to these 2 readings. This module focuses on clarifying some of the obscure terms in post-colonialism. غادي تخدموا على terminology, vocabulary ديال post-colonialism. غتقراو some terms and their definitions, defining them, understanding them. The module sheds some light on influential theorists, concepts, and approaches in the field of post-colonial studies. You can see here that post-colonial studies, or post-colonial theory, is also one of the modern literary criticism theories that can be used on texts. يعني هاد الموديول اللي قريناه واللي شفنا قبل من هذا. Post-colonial theory is one of them, one of the theories that can be used to analyze a text. It will help you, هذا الموديول will help you to use the acquired post-colonial perspectives in interpreting various literary texts. So this is what we talked about. هاد terminology اللي غتقراو, هاد terms and definitions اللي غتقراو, you will have to use in your essays while writing about post-colonialism. And this is what the module is all about. And we have reached the end of this video. Please, some things to keep in mind here. This is your last semester. So whatever efforts you made in the previous semester, you have to double them. Les efforts اللي درتو في السمستر اللي قبل, now is the time to make even more efforts, to give it your best, your absolute best. Do not restrict yourself to the handouts. The more you read about your course outside of class, beyond of your handouts, the better your chances of scoring exceptionally well. So هاد الhandouts, هاد text اللي غيقول لكم تقراو, do not limit yourselves to them. There are many articles, many texts, extra things you can read to better your understanding and to get more terminology, to develop your vocabulary in certain topics. You chose literature as your BA major. Remember to read things which are not related to your classes. Reading is supposed to be nurturing. Do not transform it into punishment and necessity, and try to have fun while studying. The last thing to tell you here is, اختاريتوا literature, try to remember why you did so. Most people choose it because they really like reading. So do remember that you like reading, and do not keep reading only the handouts and only the texts in class. Read things that you like. Read poetry, read plays, read novels, read articles, science, whatever you like to read. Do not stop and make it a punishment for you. And this will be it for this video. Thank you for watching.